From a dollars perspective, we all know the premium branded content industry is promising. It will continue to be a growth engine for marketers, publishers, and brands. And there's a lot that we can kind of all take advantage of here, right? We've seen a lot of different examples of diverse work. There's original video, there's written editorial, there's premium content distribution, there's even things like experiential, emerging tech. But at the heart of it all is storytelling. That's the business that we're all in. And so when you think about this industry that's healthy and growing, and there's so much on the line here, how do we all make sure that we get it right? So for us, we like to start first with thinking about not what we're going after, but what we're going against. And that's being wary of zombie-like content. So we think the zombification of content marketing has already started. Many smart marketers have bought into the idea that storytelling and branded content, it helps build brand and make connections far better than commercial sales pitches and traditional call to actions can. And while that realization is a good thing, we have to be really careful about not falling asleep. We have to make sure that we're still able to break through and avoid some of these challenges. The first thing that we're up against is saturation, right? So the content marketing industry has already become incredibly saturated. It's like when technology enabled everyone to become a new songwriter or artist and upload music online. Everyone could become the next Taylor Swift. But before long, there was so much music online, most of it bad or boring, it was really hard to find new good music amongst all the MySpace zombies. And then the second challenge that we think about is that everyone claims to be really good at content. Yes. We have, the publishers that are leveraging their editorial reputations, their audiences, but sometimes when they translate that into commercial branded work, it doesn't deliver. You have traditional agencies that are repackaging some of their old offerings and kind of just labeling it as content. You have Me Too tech vendors that are promising end-to-end distribution capabilities, but oftentimes they can't deliver at scale. So how do we break through using storytelling? So we like to just start here and remind ourselves about what we're going after every single time we think about or produce a piece of content, and that's human attention. Human attention is the world's most valuable resource. Without human attention, storytelling, marketing, it can have no effect. But we all know it's really hard right now to capture human attention. We've heard this already today. How many of you are guilty of looking at your phones while you're also watching a movie on your television? Raise your hand. And keep your hand raised if you've been on your phone throughout this entire day of presentations. So 2/3 of internet users claim that they are also multitasking. We also know that it's really hard to reach targeted audience at scale because they're on many different apps, websites, and channels on a monthly basis. Then there's ad blocking and banner blindness, which is also kind of shifting everything to new ways and new formats to try to engage with people. So in this world of audience fragmentation, of multiple devices, and of ad banner blindness and ad blocking, how do we break through with storytelling? So we created Riot Studio last year to try to solve for some of these challenges. Riot Studio is now Oath's global in-house content studio. We're operating in 14 countries, and we represent a portfolio of over 30 media brands. Some you're very familiar with, like Yahoo, MSN, AOL, HuffPost, TechCrunch, and Gadget. But Riot started on a mission from a bunch of filmmakers and humanitarians who believed in the connecting force of technology to bring stories to life. And so we only thought it made sense to bring that original ethos and extend it to breathe new life into brand stories. So we're both a publisher and a platform. And we think that we're in a unique position to redefine what the next generation publisher content studio looks like, because we're able to draw on our publisher ecosystems, but we're also able to leverage all of the data and audience reach that we have and parent company Verizon's mobile carrier data. And our mantra is to make art, not ads. That's how we think you can break through the zombification of content, and that's how you can capture human attention. So we're going to show you a quick reel so you can get a little taste for our work.
Walking on water, that's where
So our approach to all the work that we do is to combine brilliant storytelling and big data. That's what we think is the future of branded content. And we really don't think you can be successful without understanding how they both work together. And I think you could see from the work there that we're intentionally merging our roots in Hollywood with our future in mobile data and ad tech to create something new. From a creative perspective, we intentionally try to draw talent from both creative agencies and publisher content studios. So we have a multidisciplinary team that's been awarded things from Academy Awards, Emmy nominations, but also advertising, TV journalism as well. On the innovation side, we're able to leverage Oath's investment in things like AR, VR, and 360, and we work with communities like open source to power the future of science and tech. Distribution, of course, is on our minds throughout everything that we create. We're often thinking about what is the right mix of on-platform and off-platform channels depending on the content and formats that we're creating. But I really do think it starts and stops with data, and we think about data in a really big way. So for us, data is the power of 1 billion consumers on a monthly basis that are generating 4 trillion monthly signals. And these signals are really different and really diverse, and we're looking at a different combination of them every time we venture into a content partnership. So things like persistent location that we get from over 150 million mobile subscribers. Things like editorial, so over 350 million active users going to our properties. Things like search, 7 billion queries per month. Identity, email, mobile, 700K apps, over 1.9 billion devices, and then purchase receipts, which I think is one of the most crazy, but it's over $178 million every single day that we're seeing through purchase receipts in people's emails. We're so obsessed with data that we take it a step further than just looking at the audience and editorial signals that we have. We've also invested in building content marketing tools that can help inform what to talk about, how to talk about it, and what type of performance metrics our partners can expect. We use these throughout every step of the content process, from strategy and development to launch to optimization, distribution, and measurement. And we're always using a bespoke combination of these tools when we partner with a brand based on their KPIs. This is just one example of a tool that we leverage. It's our global content moment segmentation tool. So this profiled users around the globe and identified that there are 8 key motivations that every user has when they seek out a piece of content. So think about it. You might want to find the answer to a question. You might be in a state where you just are bored and you want to be entertained. You might just want to see something cool that you can share with your friends on social so you look really connected. These motivations, they're different. They require you delivering a different type of content to a different user at that time. And we're now in the process of mapping these 8 motivations across all of our editorial properties and pages. The good news is that all of this work that we do to try to redefine data-driven storytelling is proven to work. So when we look at the content and the programming we create using data-driven methods, we see that it does drive much greater impact across all of the key things that we measure for brands. Things like brand affinity, purchase intent, receptivity to the content, and engagement. Okay, so let's get into the creative work. So just gonna end with 2 examples of creative projects that were born using this data-driven approach. So the first creative example I'm gonna share is a partnership between Riot Studio and Paramount Pictures. Paramount came to us and their challenge was that they wanted to create awareness and buzz around their film Mother, but the trailer really didn't give a lot away about the movie and the plot line. So we thought, what is something we can use to really create excitement and generate more awareness around this film? We looked across our Tumblr communities and we saw that this iconic trailer poster featuring Jennifer Lawrence was causing tons of debate amongst our Tumblr communities. They were really intrigued by the striking artwork and some of the kind of interesting objects that were going on in the poster. So we decided, what if we merged art and technology to create a content experience that would excite our Tumblr users, but also create really cool content for our Yahoo Movies channel? So the idea was to work with graffiti artist Insa, who spray paints multiple images and takes pictures of all of them, and then translates that into an AR installation that users can see using an iPhone or an iPad. We also suggested creating a 7-meter tall installation of this project in a high foot traffic area. So this was London King Crossing. So let's take a look at the work. the other creative example that I want to share with you today, this was a project between Riot Studio and Apple. And so for this challenge, they wanted to showcase the new functionality of their camera on the iPhone 6S. But they didn't just want to do that. They also wanted to create some kind of work that would help them emotionally connect with millennials. So because of the visual kind of nature of this type of creative work, we kind of intuitively felt that travel was the right subject matter, but we wanted to do something that was different. So we looked at data and insights from across our editorial portfolio, and we saw that adventure travel was kind of popping at that moment far more than luxury travel or other types of experiences. When we dug into some more millennial insights, we saw that millennials were overwhelmingly interested in adventure travel experiences that showed some kind of risk and achievement, something that they felt they could see themselves reflected back in. And so the idea for this project was born. It's called Wasfia, and it chronicled the first Bangladeshi woman to ever climb the 7 Himalayan summits. And the hook, every breathtaking shot was filmed using the iPhone 6S. We released this in partnership with National Geographic, and it became a very poetic and lyrical documentary linear. Let's take a look at the work.
Even as a child, I had this really strong feeling that I needed to set myself free. I wanted to highlight to the world how far women from Bangladesh have come, despite all the obstacles that they have to constantly go through. I'd like to dedicate this summit to the youth of my nation. Life is too short. And these are leaps of faith.